So first of all, this is the hill that we go on. I'm a little irritated. And there's so many wolves in truth teller clothing. Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. If I want the truth, I have to pay money for it. If I want the truth, I have to put it off on somebody else. If I want the truth, I have to give somebody else the responsibility to get up off their ass to go do it. Right? Here, kitty, kitty.
So it's being led to believe that this young black lady is trying to say that the Black Panthers group or organization is a racist group or organization. They have even pimped Allie out and had her on a street corner when she was 3 years old. That is what she's saying. She is being fed lies to say to people. She is the face of all this bullshit.
This is Keisha Morris Shakur. Who do you think she looks like? For years and years, people have been calling Allie Carter a liar because she said that a certain person was her father. How interesting to see that Keisha Morris Shakur, who was married to Tupac, looks so much like her twin. Don't they look like twins?
It was this video right here. This video right here on TikTok. It is why people believe anything that comes out of Shelly and Allie Carter's mouth. It is this video right here. People failed to realize that this content creator on TikTok, now I understand, I know for a fact that the person that created this video is young. They definitely are. Probably in their early to mid 20s, because this person failed to understand that Keisha Morris Shakur, that's hugged up with Tupac, her husband of 5 months, and then they got their marriage annulled. They failed to realize that the person with the bandana on their head, it was a style back in the day. I sported that same style. I can show you the same exact pictures of me with a freaking do-rag on my head. You know what I'm saying? But that same picture right there, that's still Keisha. She says twins in the video. That's because it's Keisha. That is Keisha there. That's not Allie. Standing next to a vintage poster of Tupac on Vibe magazine. And by the way, I actually have that magazine. I have the Memorial magazine of Pac and Big. Yes, I do. The Memorial magazine of Vibe. It was a popular magazine back in the day. That was our internet, okay? The Vibe magazine and Wendy Williams, if you lived in New York. Wendy Williams. That was our internet back in the 90s. That is not Allie. Allie wears a bandana on her head for whatever reasons. Maybe the style has come back in. I don't know. But that's not Allie. So if you can believe that that is Allie and not Keisha, then there is already a problem. Look at the old school piece of, workout equipment back there. That's an old photo. And yes, Keisha Morris, right now, she does have a daughter. I don't know the daughter's name, but it's not Allie Carter. And I need to get into something. I have been following King Wurld for a lot of content, but I only want to talk about this content right now that he is currently covering. And I'm so glad that he got on it, because he was going to do this content with or without Allie's mother. I know he was, but I'm so glad that she brought light to the story. She brought truth to the story, and she has it out there. And this mother wow, Allie has really put her through it. You know, all the links to the videos I'm going to post underneath this video if you already know about the story. If you don't, please do not get into it. It's just too much. It's just complicated. It's ridiculous. But I'm going to break it down for you. When I first seen Allie Carter, right? I don't know, her video came up on my TikTok, which I don't understand because I normally watch things about, dog and cat videos. But she popped up and I was looking at it.
Locked me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move.
And she said she was at a Diddy party, and how since she was so small when she was younger, she was a party favor. So for like 5 minutes, I hate to admit it, I was like, wow, oh my God. So I'm listening to this. Then I started to stroll while she was talking. I started to stroll and look at the comments. Somebody said, oh yeah, right. And she's also Tupac's daughter. Oh, so I hurried up and I got off that video and I Googled Tupac's daughter.
The second time I seen him was at his home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Everybody thinks he faked his death. He's not dead. There was many things that happened and he got set up for a little bit to still be able to live his life and still be in the public eye. He's still making music. He's still collabing with other artists.
He didn't have any kids, and I'm pretty sure there was a lot of women trying to come out the woodwork and say that they had children by Pac. I'm pretty sure they always do that shit. When Prince died, he had like a football field of women that said they had his child. And oh yeah, it was one, but that's a whole nother story. But they do that. They do that. So Pac does not have any children. Why didn't they say something when Afina Shakur was alive? She would have embraced her grandchild by Pac. Had she had one, and she was definitely going to get a DNA test first. But it didn't happen. And Pac has siblings still here, a sister and a brother. So I'm pretty sure they would love to know if they had a nephew or a niece. But it's not true. And if Pac did have any children, I doubt very seriously if his daughter would be in a van with these older Caucasian women that mean her, no, they mean her all harm, is what I'm trying to say. Now, what I've learned about Allie, and I've only been kind of not really into it, but I'll look at certain videos. What I've learned about Allie in the little 3 months that I did a little bit of research on her case, she has been with Hunter and Joe Biden. Now, this is sexually. She's been with Hunter and Joe Biden, the Obamas. She calls Michelle Obama a man. Let me see. Ron Jeremy, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, Hugh Hefner, Akon, Young Jock. She's been with that. Now, I'm surprised. I didn't hear nothing about R. Kelly, or maybe I just didn't get too much into the videos. But I noticed the stuff that was coming out of her mouth. Not only was it lies and she was being fed this BS, but the fact that I knew she wasn't saying it. Your average black girl, unless she's been, talked into saying it, coerced is what they say, it doesn't come out your mouth like that. And it was King Wurld. I've been watching all of his videos. He has part 1, 2, and 3, and he has some little side parts all dedicated to this, and I've watched them all. Luckily, I was able to watch him at work because one live is like 11 hours. He does bits and pieces of things all related to Allie Carter, whose real name is Tori Outlaw. Yes, Outlaw is a name. I have researched all the outlaws, okay? Tori Outlaw, the one that I'm talking about right now. There's also a Tori Outlaw who's a realtor, a white woman. And there's also a Tori Outlaw, another white woman in Canada who was murdered, all right? So there is 3 Tori Outlaws that pop up on social media. But we are talking about this specific one, this 30-year-old one about to turn 31.
That every time we jump on here, our intel tells us that there are Allie's handlers, there's witches, whatever, that are reporting back, right? Okay, so when we were on first time, there were 5 fuckers on here listening, 5 handlers. Right now there's 3. They just already jumped on within 6 minutes. Okay, we gonna play Romper Room because I know who's on here, and I know who was on here. So, you guys remember Romper Room? If you're my age, you remember Romper Room. You remember when the lady would like hold up her little spyglass and she would look out through the TV and start calling people's names? Well, when we were little kids, it kind of freaked us out. If she called your name, like for me, I would hide behind the counter because I would be in my pajamas and I didn't want her to see me in my pajamas. So I'm gonna call out the Outlaw women. I see you. I know you sitting on here. I know you plotting on my kid. Mr. Outlaw, I see your ass. You Black Panthers, I see your ass. For you Outlaw women, you fat ass fucking broke ass heifers, I've waited for a decade for you come face to face with me, and you cowards never will. But it took you 6 minutes to get on your fat ass on your damn broom and jump on this live. You could have just called me. But trust and believe, I am coming for you guys. I ain't putting up with your bullshit. You're not gonna fuck with my kid. And you're certainly not gonna fuck with the child alters. You better back the fuck up. I know the hell the shit you did. I know quite a bit. You fucking outlaws. You fucking outlaw sisters. Knock your shit off.
And Tori, to make, just to break it down, Tori started off, a good child, listening to her mother, doing what she's supposed to do. She's one of seven daughters altogether. There's no sons in that home, one of 7. And right behind the home that they moved into was a foster home. Tori started hanging out at that foster home. And also Shelly, Rochelle Hawk, Shelly Carter, she was some type of counselor. So she was there too.
When Allie was put in foster care, I was advocating for her, and I was reporting back, and I was writing reports and turning in reports to CPS based on the abuse that she was telling me that she was experiencing while in foster care. At first, they embraced me, and they were allowing me to have visitation with her. When I started making too many waves, they turned everything back on me. They filed a court order that said I was a predator to Allie, and they were telling me I was not allowed to have contact with her because
she was preying on her. Allie came home, and Allie went to the police station, or she said at school, and they took her to the police station. But anyway, she said her father had SA'd her, had R-worded her. Right in his home. The thing is, Allie didn't know where her father lived at that time. And thank goodness that man who was in the military was out the country. So it was a lie. It was a whole lie. Allie was being fed stuff 15 years ago. And it never stopped. It never stopped. And the reason why Mrs. Outlaw, she was receiving videos from family members saying, hey, you got to look at this. But she never did. Mrs. Outlaw, she's not a social media person. There are a lot of people that are not a social media person. And she is not one of them. She does not do social media like that. So her daughter said, no, Ma, you have to check out this video.
It's not the way I wanted to come on this live. I'm tired. I can't even fucking hide it. I'm tired. Woo! Do it. There's somebody threatening us right now in a way that I'm just like, you know what? Do it. Do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do it. Do it. you can't take any more that you have already fucking taken. So do it.
And she looked at it and she seen her daughter and she knew that something was wrong. Not only is Tori Outlaw, aka Allie, being coerced into saying all this crazy nonsense, she's also being pimped out by whoever Shelly sees fit. And yeah, it is a Caucasian angle. I hate to say it. I'm not a racist. I've never been a racist. If you can look at any of my videos, I target any and everybody. And I do videos here concerning kids. And I don't just go after the white people that are doing things to kids. I go after the black people, the Asian people, whoever. So it's not that. But Allie right now is around a whole bunch of white people that find this humorous. And it is very upsetting for her mother and very upsetting for anybody who is a parent and is seeing something like this. So it doesn't matter that it took 15 years. It's happening now. And I didn't even know, I'm watching it now on King World's platform. I didn't even know that Allie would call and she'd cry. And Miss Outlaw would say, "Where are you?" And she would just keep crying and she would hang up. Allie needs help. Allie needs help. I know she's being coerced. For her to get on there and say the things that she says, it's coming from a woman that really does not like black women, if not black people, but definitely not black women. There are people like that.
Trump supporter. I have been in political hands. What part don't you understand? Okay? I work in the media, and so many children have asked me, how do you stand next to celebrities and I don't face you? Because I've already met them. It doesn't take a rocket science. You know, everybody wants to, it's amazing because no one knows what Trump. No one. Everybody just knows that everybody else does. It's a trend. Does anybody know that he's the only man doing something about human survivors? No president has ever touched it before. Does anybody know that he's provided more jobs for the black community than any president in history? Does anybody know that it doesn't give a I don't shit and it doesn't matter about anybody's tax-paying money? But do you know that he's actually been rescued? I've been posting in my story every day. Do you think that I would have posted something if I didn't know what I was talking about? I don't just run my mouth. That's why people want to kill me.
Yes, that was definitely orchestrated by somebody who was not black, I'm sure. I'm sure that it was Shelly. Shelly makes her do everything, makes her say everything, and Shelly sits back and chimes in whenever she wants to. I know that Shelly is more than likely, if not a die-hard Republican, more than definitely a die-hard Trump supporter. That is why she's made Allie say that she slept with pretty much all of the Democratic Party. You see, it never stops.
Hi, I'm Allie's mom, Shelly. When CPS finally relented and let her be placed with me, I was seeing a lot of things that I've never seen before. I've worked with a lot of troubled kids, a lot of kids that needed help, but I never saw the behaviors that I was witnessing with Allie. She would be up all night. She was not able to sleep. She would barricade her door to her room. If somebody slammed the door too hard, if somebody dropped a book, her startle reflex was so exaggerated. I was still trying to piece things together. I knew she had been beaten. I knew there was some sexual abuse. Didn't know anything about sex trafficking at that time. Didn't know anything about MK Ultra. I did know a little bit about satanic ritual abuse, but I didn't know that was a thing in this situation, and I didn't know how that would even fit. I was just seeing a kid with a lot of trauma. When she finally was placed with me, and I started seeing that there was sexual abuse and that there was trauma, I thought God brought her into my life to seek justice for her, to stand with her while we brought down every pedophile that had harmed her.
And that is what Miss Outlaw is trying to do. Bring down the number one pedophile that harmed her, and that is Shelly Carter, aka Rochelle Hawks. This is the woman right here. This is the woman that pimped her daughter out, that did everything to her daughter, that preyed on her daughter, that pretended that her daughter was her daughter, and ultimately made her daughter her lover, her girlfriend, and Lord knows whatever else. This is what they're trying to do now.
Shelly, I promise you, I'm taking your ass down. Do you understand what I'm saying? You done set your ass on these videos with my daughter. You done did all this shit to my daughter. But I want you to see my face. I promise you that I'm going to take your ass down. I want you to know that. So if you're a woman, Shelly, come talk to me. Release my daughter. This is how I know you're a fucking predator. What are you holding my daughter for? What are you holding her for? Tori, I could look in your face and I could tell that you are not happy. Just as well as I could tell that you are not healthy.
I know it seems like some type of reality show or sitcom, but it's really not. Tori Outlaw, she has a mental illness. She had it when she was younger, and it's been 15 years now, well over a decade. She has not received any counseling. Her mother is back in her life. Her mother wants her back. Her mother wants to look after her. Yes, she's 31 years old. Yes, she is. But that's going to always be her child no matter what. And Miss Outlaw feels that her daughter is in danger. If you've seen some of these videos, you can tell. Tori's crying in a lot of these videos. She is yelling at cops. The cops have their hand on their pistols. A lot of these videos. She's outrageous. She's showing signs of withdrawal from whatever drug that these two are using, mainly Tori. Don't let this continue. You have to stand with Miss Outlaw. You have to get her away from Shelly. It has to be done.
Tori, I could look in your face and I could tell that you are not happy. Just as well as I could tell that you are not healthy. My door is open. It's always going to be open. I need you to come home. I need you to get to a doctor's. I need you to get some blood work done. I need your system flushed out. I need you to get some mental health so you can get better. Because you got your 30s now, baby. You can live your 30s happy and healthy. All you got to do is come home.